Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Greenup County Fiscal Court courtroom and the original Greenup County Courthouse down on Harrison and Main Street in Greenup for 2014 general election returns here for Greenup County. Of course, the statewide offices, we can only report the county totals. We will not report any totals for the statewide results. You'll have to get those from your primary news source. But we will have a visual and, of course, audio report. We'll talk to some of the candidates here tonight, winners and losers, those that we can get to sit down and chat with us. And the polls have been closed here. All of Greenup County is in Eastern time, so they've been closed for about 15 or 16 minutes. So it won't be long before the first precinct starts rolling in here, and we'll see those totals reflected. They all computerized now, and they run, of course, they run through the electronic system upstairs in the office of County Clerk Pat Heineman, who will again be here for 4 more years. She was unopposed, as was the sheriff, and in the general election, as was Bobby Carpenter, the Greenup County Judge Executive. Mike Wilson, Greenup County Attorney. Neil Wright, the Coroner. Bill Clary faced a challenge in the primary from Bobby Hall and was unseated. And Bobby Hall is facing Betty Rife in the general election. But anyway, we'll report things as they come along. There are 33 precincts to report in Greenup County, and a couple of these races may be close enough. We do have a closely contested race in Flatwoods for mayor between Ron Fields and Joe Gray. And then there's a mayor's race, Hewlett and Meadows and Greenup. So many of the races are contested. The Board of Education races, I do not believe, have any competition. There are 3 votes for Raceland, and there were 3 candidates. There's 3 votes for Russell Independent. There's 3 candidates. I'm not sure about Greenup County. I don't know if it was a contested race or not, but many of the races are uncontested. It's just a matter of the formality of casting votes. But in the all in all, that's where we are here at Hank Bond, along with Keith Atkins, our live stream technician, and also our cameraman. He'll join us here. We'll have a little discussion coming up in a few minutes. And up next with us here, our first guest will be Bobby Carpenter, who is the Greenup County Judge Executive. And he will have another 4-year term as he was unopposed in the primary or in the general election. He was opposed in the primary, but he did move on to run unopposed in the general election. So we'll on your screen you will see the rolling results from the office of County Clerk Pat Heineman, and we'll be back here in a couple of minutes after words from our sponsors who bring you this election coverage 2014 here on GreenupBeacon.com and GreenupBeacon2.com, the only place where you can see the results unless you're down here live, the only place available here in Greenup County. We'll be back in a couple minutes. This is GreenupBeacon.com. First and Peoples Bank has 6 convenient locations to serve you. From South Shore to the main office, First and Peoples Bank has been serving this area with complete banking services since 1932. Visit the home office near you. First and Peoples Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are the home office. Come visit any of our 6 locations.
The fine people at Carmen Funeral Home have been working with families in need for over 100 years. Carmen Funeral Home offers compassionate and caring services to those in their time of need, from pre-arrangement to final arrangements, with 2 convenient locations in Flatwoods and Russell. Carmen Funeral Home, putting people first since 1913.
Stoltz Pharmacy is now offering patients compounding for their prescription needs. Stoltz Pharmacy is the only pharmacy in the area that is PCCA certified. We can provide you with hormone replacement, neuropathy creams, scar creams, pediatric prescriptions, and we can even help you with your veterinarian needs. If you have any questions, please call 606-834-1052. That's 834-1052. Stoltz Pharmacy in Greenup, Flatwoods, and Wheelersburg. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stoltz Pharmacy.
We anticipate there'll be some lecture returns probably in about 15 minutes. We're waiting on the Greenup County Judge Executive to come and join us here. And once he does that, we'll have a little conversation and we'll move on from there. As I said earlier, there are 33 precincts in Greenup County. I don't think there's any true predicting of who will win and who won't win. We'll just have to play it for what it is, and that's what we'll do. Step over this, Bob, and sit down. And Keith, if you don't mind turning the camera around, we'll talk with this. I even put you in a high chair, Bob, so you'd be taller than me. Yeah, that's it. That's doesn't happen very often. At least we're not in diapers anymore. That's right. Bobby Carpenter is the county judge-elect and the county judge all at the same time. Right. We ran unopposed, and in the general election, you did have some opposition in the primary. But Bobby, let's talk about Greenup County. Let's talk about not so much just election day, but let's talk about the things you've got going on here.
You know, economic development-wise, we've got a lot going on right now. We've got the coke plant that we're just on the verge. You know, as soon as they get this electrical siding grid, all their application done, that takes like 120 days. I look for the first part of next year in the first quarter for that to, I hope, come to fruition. And then we're also, as of last Friday, we're working on another large project. And we're just starting to put it together. We worked on it again today.
Well, and of course, that's, you know, the bottom line is jobs means security for the county, not for the elected officials, but for the county itself.
That's exactly right. We've got you got Progress Rail getting ready to do something at the OCSX shops. That's going to be some jobs. So the things are looking up economic development wise. I think by the first of the year things are going to turn around.
Yeah, Progressive Rail, their world headquarters is in Sidney, Nebraska. It's the same place that Cabela's is. I ran the paper there for almost a year. It is unbelievable the number of projects that they do take on and the number of people they employ, and it's not minimum wage jobs.
No, these are all good jobs that I'm speaking of too. You know, like the ones down at Sun Coke when they come in here, them 60,000 and above. Right. All of them, and then all your union jobs, your construction job, that's 800 people for 24 months. That's all union. Right. They'll use every union we got.
And that of course is at prevailing wage, so there's not, that union wage is a good paying job.
Exactly. You can raise a family on that.
And you've got Gerber's that makes $1 off of it, and the restaurants in Flatwoods and South Shore and Russell, and I mean it's about sharing the wealth. I often try to say, Bob, that we all live in a fishbowl, so we need to try to help each other out.
That's exactly right, and that's what we're doing down here. So things are going very well here in Greenup County. I'm proud of my fiscal court. They've done a good job to work with me on all this, and we've got good people at the Asheville Alliance, and they're working with us too.
So, you know, there's a lot of things that have gone on here during your time here. We've, Tanya and you and the state have put in the Industrial Parkway, and you got the Veterans Cemetery over there, and, you know, it takes a lot of cooperation.
I wish I could take credit for the cemetery, but I'll have to give Tanya Pullen all the credit for that one.
All right.
But,
well, but you were in office when you didn't fight her. Let's put it that way.
I was all for it, but she was the one that worked on that one and worked it in. So I'll let her have her due.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you a few specific questions, Bob. How many road miles is the county responsible for?
499.
And so you're responsible to either see that they're gravel sealed or paved?
Yes, sir. And we've got when I came in, we didn't have a whole lot of them blacktop, and we've got almost all of them now. There's a very few that likes, and we bought a machine this year, and we're finally starting to blacktop of ourselves.
And when you take a look at what the amount of traffic that we have in this county does to roads, maintenance becomes another issue.
Yes, it does, and we've got a good maintenance crew too. I got Joe Taylor, and has been over there for about 30 years, and he knows every road, and we've just got a good maintenance program, and they stay right after it and keep it going.
You know, a lot of counties have petitioned and gotten money to build a new courthouse. What's your thoughts on that?
I've got a good courthouse. I'd just soon stay in the one I'm in.
I understand that. Bobby, I thank you for coming by, and congratulations on another term, and maybe in 4 years you'll be able to go to the House.
Well, that's kind of what I'm looking at, so we just play it by ear.
If we don't run you off before then.
That's true.
Bobby Carpenter, Greenup County Judge Executive. We'll be back in just a moment. At Meredith Chiropractic, you will enjoy state-of-the-art chiropractic facilities and discover the true wellness lifestyle. Dr. Terry Meredith is a member of Great Doctors of Chiropractic and has helped many in the Ashland area experience natural healing without surgery or drugs. If you're looking for a skilled chiropractic doctor, visit meredithchiropractic.com, call 329-8158, or visit Dr. Meredith's office at 2120 Carter Avenue in Ashland. At Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, our patients are priority number one. For the 7th straight year, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital has received HealthGrade's Outstanding Patient Experience Award. The hospital continues to place in the top 5% of the nation for outstanding patient experience. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital says thank you to our patients for this People's Choice honor. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, on a mission of good health for you and your family. Hank Bond along with Keith Adkins here at Greenup County Fiscal Courtroom in the courthouse in downtown Greenup. Election returns 2014. We appreciate our sponsors for participating in the coverage that we try to bring you here. We thank Greenup County Judge Executive Bobby Carpenter for sitting down with us here. A reminder that we'll be on the air again on Friday, or actually we'll be on tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the Greenup County or Greenup Beacon Video News Magazine. Our guest tomorrow will be Anna Chafin, the principal at Russell High School. We'll also have an interview with Diana Williams from Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital and a cooking segment on, what did she cook? I can't remember. Oh, yes, I do. It's red chili. It'll be for a little tailgating concept, some chili from the kitchen of Britt. And then next week we'll have the principal from, I believe, Russell Primary School. That'll be Pam Wright. Also, we'll have Karen Sperry from the American Cancer Society. She'll be with us to talk about the Great American Smokeout and some of the other things that the American Cancer Society does. And we'll hopefully have coming up here in just a couple of minutes some election returns. We'll begin to show from the 33 precincts that are located within the confines and boundaries of Greenup County. I see that the Daily Independent has a reporter here, as does the Greenup News and WLGC. But the only place you can see the returns reported live, besides being in the courthouse in the office of Pat Heineman or down here in the fiscal courtroom, is here on greenupbeacon.com. We'll let the scroll continue, and as returns begin to come in, we'll stop and begin to report that. And we may very well be seeing our first returns coming up here in just a moment, as I noticed that the scroll has stopped, and we are probably having one of those loaded up, and 2 of the 33 precincts have reported. We've had 962 ballots cast. And there are 180 votes for the Democrats, 123 for Republicans, or 123. We do not have the absentee ballots here. In Greenup County, Mitch McConnell at 468 votes, 440 for Allison Grimes, and 34 for David Patterson. Also in the U.S. representative, Peter Newberry with 400 votes, but Thomas Massey 502. Robin Webb with 577 votes, and Tony Downey with 344. State representative in the 98th district, of course, Tanya Pullen has 729 votes, and she is unopposed. Property Valuation Administrator Bobby Hall has 600 votes, and Betty Rife has 324. It's about a 2-to-1 margin. Bobby Carpenter with 731 votes. I'm not sure I know which precincts have reported. Of course, Mike Wilson is the incumbent and unopposed, as is Pat Heineman. She has the most votes of the night, 757. The sheriff, 739 votes. He too is unopposed. The jailer, who I failed to mention earlier, Mike Worthington, a Republican, he has 687 votes. He too was unopposed. And county commissioner in the 1st district, Mike Heineman, 681 votes, but he was unopposed. In the 2nd district, it appears that Tony Quillen has 494 votes and Richard Howerton 413 votes. That's a pretty close margin there. And in the 3rd district, Billy Ray Stevens 506 votes and Ernest Duty 388. Neil Wright, the county coroner, is unopposed, as is the county surveyor, Anthony Keebler. One district of 12 in the first magisterial district. These candidates are unopposed. No candidate in the 2nd district. Tom Colley, a Democrat, has 110 votes. Justice of the Peace. And in the 3rd district, Tammy Womack 311 votes, Steve Duty with 235, but that race, of course, is not quite over. Sarah Combs running unopposed in the district or U.S. District Court. 7th Appellate District, Janet Stumbo over Kent Varney by about a 4-to-1 margin. Robert Conley, or Bob as I know him, with 619 votes. Judge Preston with 593. Those two judges, as well as Brian McLeod, are all unopposed. Carl Cotton with 10 votes for school board. He was unopposed, I believe. Jeff Hearn unopposed. In Race and Worthington, there were 3 run for 3 offices. Same with Russell Independent. Tom Bradley, who is the mayor of Bellefonte, running unopposed. 1972 graduate of Russell, so he's from that part of the world. There's 4 to vote for in Bellefonte for council, and there are 4 candidates. City of Flatwoods for mayor, Joey Gray has 55 votes. Ron Fields has 51. That's with 1 of 7 precincts. Gary Tomlin with a 58-40 lead on Jim McKnight. Lowell Gullett 59-33 over Charlie Young. And Ray Sloan with a 58-31 lead over Jason Miller. Samantha Sayers and Richard Lois really close, 48-45. Carl Wheeler is unopposed in the 5th Ward. And in the 6th Ward, Kent Picklesheimer with a 70-23 lead over Kenneth Botts. For the city of Greenup, there's 1 of 4 precincts reporting. Lundy Meadows holds a 1-vote lead. City Council vote for 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Boo Williams and Brooks Jackson are at the bottom of the 8. Mayor City of Raceland, Mike Wilson, with a 19-6 lead on Harry Joseph. City of Raceland also, I believe, only had 6 candidates run for 6 positions. Now there's 7, 8. John Rowe and Randy Jones are out of the money. We'll recap that. 1 of 4 precincts reporting for Russell. Bill Hopkins, of course, is the incumbent mayor unopposed, but it's a 6 out of 8 vote for City Council. And the bottom 2 are Roy Parsons and Mike Schertzinger. Roy is tied with Michael Witt as the low vote total. Cheryl Moore and Larry Wells are tied 3-3 in the mayor's race for South Shore, 1 of 3 precincts. City Commissioner. There are several candidates. The bottom 2 are Ratliff and Bradley. Tim Mullins, the mayor of Worthington, is unopposed. In the city of Worthington, Brad McGinnis and Glenn Stevenson are the 2 bottom vote getters. The city of Wordland, Donna Hayes unopposed for mayor. There are 4 spots on the commission open. There are only 3 people running, so all of those are elected. And that runs us through the first tallies here. And we'll just have to wait for additional reporting. And as long as it's 2 of 33, we'll leave it running and step away and be back in a minute. This is greenupbeacon.com. At Meredith Chiropractic, you will enjoy state-of-the-art chiropractic facilities and discover the true wellness lifestyle. Dr. Terry Meredith is a member of Great Doctors of Chiropractic and has helped many in the Ashland area experience natural healing without surgery or drugs. If you're looking for a skilled chiropractic doctor, visit meredithchiropractic.com, call 329-8158, or visit Dr. Meredith's office at 2120 Carter Avenue in Ashland. At Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, our patients are priority number 1. For the 7th straight year, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital has received HealthGrade's Outstanding Patient Experience Award. The hospital continues to place in the top 5% of the nation for outstanding patient experience. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital says thank you to our patients for this People's Choice honor. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, on a mission of good health for you and your family. Oh yeah, you don't gotta have freaking lines running your house. You don't gotta have lines you run your house to have electric. All solar, man. Do what now? Solar. two precincts. For what I understand, these are absentee votes that are showing on the report as they scroll by. We'll try to update these as they come. It's the best we can do. We're here at the courthouse, and we thank you for joining us here at greenupbeacon.com. As you can see, the report now runs through 6 districts, and we'll try to catch up as we get to the opposed races. The constitutional offices were opposed in the primary some, but the only constitutional office opposed in the general election was for property value administrator. That was Bobby Hall and Betty Rife. With 6 of 33 reporting, commissioner in the 2nd district is an opposed race. Tony Quillen has a 1,131 to 920 lead, a couple hundred votes. Got Ray Stevens with a 300 vote, almost 400 vote lead over Ernest Duty, and we're going to reset and pick up some more, so we'll start at the top for you as soon as they begin to scroll. Hank Bond along with Keith Atkins here at the Greenup County Courthouse in the physical courtroom. 2,800 votes cast in 6 precincts, 2871. And of those votes, straight party voters, 569 Democrats and 381 Republicans, 20 were Libertarians. For United States Senator, Lonergan Grimes, 1377, with a 24-point lead over McConnell. Patterson with 83 votes. Thomas Massey has a 200-vote lead over Peter Newberry. Of course, this is just in Greenup County, not statewide by any means. Robin Webb with about an 800 vote lead on Tony Downey for state senator. Tanya Pullen is unopposed. In the property valuation administrator race, with 8 precincts reporting, Bobby Hall has a 1,000 vote lead on Betty Rife. Bobby Carpenter is unopposed. Again, these constitutional offices in Greenup County were unopposed, minus any write-in votes. Those through machines are the vote counts that you see. Pat Heineman also unopposed. Sheriff Cooper, 2138. Mike Worthington, the only Republican in a constitutional office as of tonight, with 2,075 votes. Mike Heineman unopposed in his race in the 2nd district. Tony Quillen leads Richard Howerton by 224 votes. In the 3rd district, Billy Ray Stevens, 1,580, to about a 500 vote lead on Ernest Duty. Neil Wright is unopposed in the race for coroner. And Keebler in the race for surveyor was unopposed. A couple of the justice of the peace races, there were no candidates. Tammy Womack has about less than 100 vote lead over Steve Duty. Sarah Combs, of course, unopposed in the race for Court of Appeals judge. Janet Stumbo with a giant lead over Kent Varney, 700 votes in Greenup County. We're coming up on 54 minutes past the hour. We have about 8 of the precincts reporting countywide. All 4 precincts that Jeff Hearn ran in have reported. He is unopposed for school board. Only 1 of 6 out of the Raceland precincts. Raceland Worthington, I guess. Tom Bradley unopposed for the mayor of Bellefonte. And I think there's 4 candidates for commissioner, so each of those folks will be shipped back into office. With just 1 of 7 reporting in Flatwoods, Joe Gray has a 4-vote lead on Ron Fields. Nothing additional from the Flatwoods precincts. These are the same vote totals we had earlier as 1 precinct was counted. They have turned the lights out here in the courtroom, but we are able to bring you the report from the lighted screen, so that's what we'll go with, and hopefully we'll be able to turn some lights on and speak with a few candidates when this is over. Again, we're going to have to wait for there to be some updating in the votes. Lundy Meadows up by 27 votes. And for Greenup Council, I think this will be final. The bottom candidates will not be elected. This is 4 of 4. Hopefully when it comes back around, I'll catch that. Be a little quicker. City of Raceland, again, is just one precinct reporting. Thus nothing final there. Eddie Compton is where it cuts off. Then you have John Rowe and Randy Jones. Bill Hopkins with 2 of 4 from Russell. He is unopposed, so he'll be the mayor, continue to be the mayor at City of Russell. Top 6 vote getters are Ronnie Simpson, Butch Meadows, Sissy Schaefer, Dave Kersey, Don Fraley, and Roy Parsons. Bottom 2 are Michael Witt and Michael Schertzinger. These are the same totals from the first pass. As the polls have been closed nearly an hour, they bring the totals to from the machines to the county clerk's office of Pat Heineman, and she certifies them and puts them. Those totals are unofficially what they show here. The actual vote totals aren't certified till after the election, but this will give you a pretty good idea. It'll be interesting to see, as more precincts do report, how the vote totals turn out. But for now, we're through 6 precincts in the county. Some of the elections are over, and those elections are, we'll try to catch those as we go back through. Those that have 4 or 4 precincts, etc., those elections are closed or over. Those decisions have been made. Eight of 33 precincts have reported. Courthouse here is pretty full. Think it'd catch up, you know? Huh? It's always like work. Go sleep in the dark, right? Well, till something's decided, I can't really do it. Then we'll just ask them to turn the lights back on. Up, here we go again. Looks as though we're ready now to have another update. We thank you for joining us here at greenupbeacon.com and greenupbeacon2.com. And now we have 14 of the 33 precincts reporting across Greenup County. 5,000 votes cast. And we'll try to mention those that are definitive. Mitch McConnell was pulled back ahead of Allison Lundergan Grimes in the countywide voting. And Thomas Massey has taken a 700 vote lead over Peter Newberry. In the 18th Senatorial District, Robin Webb now has an 1,100 vote lead over Tony Downey. And of course, Tanya Pullen, the 98th District State Representative, is unopposed. In the vote race for Property Valuation Administrator, Bobby Hall has taken a 1,500 vote lead over Betty Rife. And the other constitutional offices are unopposed. And we will try to delineate as we get further along. In the 1st District for County Commissioner, Mike Heineman is unopposed, but in District 2, County Commissioner votes, Tony Quillen leads Richard Howerton by 500 votes, 480 votes, give or take. And in the 3rd District, Billy Ray Stevens has a 500 vote lead, but for a little more than 400 vote lead on Ernest Duty. Going to update now, and we're going to move on. Each time it updates, it goes back to the top. And we're now at 17 of 33, and hopefully we'll be able to get through the entire scroll before they update it again. We're about an hour and 5 minutes past the close of the polls. Of course, they have to process the machines and then bring those totals to the courthouse. Countywide vote for senator is Grimes has climbed back to within about 200 votes. It's about 133 votes, I think, of McConnell. Thomas Massey now pulling away in this county from Peter Newberry. Newberry from Cynthiana, a Harrison County candidate. Robin Webb with a 1,400 vote lead on Tony Downey. As the updated total for the Challenge and Property Valuation Administrator office, Bobby Hall with a 2,000 vote lead over Betty Rife. And barring some major change, Bobby Hall will be the next property valuation administrator in Greenup County. Of course, again, we scroll through the constitutional offices, which are all unopposed in the general election, with the exception of the PVA office. And we hope to have Bobby Hall on with us here once the 33 precincts have reported. Join Keith Atkins and me Friday night for the Russell Western Hills football game. Remember you talking about showing up wearing stiff clothes and a heavy coat? I think you need to wear stiff clothes and a heavy coat Friday night. several layers. Plus, we'll bring the heater. We'll have the heater. Billy Ray Stevens with a 600 vote lead over Ernest Duty. Keebler unopposed for Surveyor. Associated Press is declaring Mitch McConnell the winner in the senatorial race statewide. WKYT is also predicting that. So apparently the key places have been counted, and those votes will show. Tammy Womack has a 50 vote lead over Steve Duty. Keith Atkins trying to keep up with the statewide totals for us. Janet Stumbo with a 1,500 vote lead over Kent Varney in Greenup County. And again, these offices are unopposed. Judge Conley, Judge Preston, Judge McLeod, they're all unopposed in this general election, 2014. Midterm elections, as they're referred to. Greenup County vote is still with only one precinct now. For Jeff Hearn, his 4 districts have voted and are reported. There's 3 candidates in Raceland. They're all listed and elected, as are the 3 candidates for Russell Independent Board of Education. Judy Justice Ledford will be the top vote getter there. There are 4 running for council in Bellefonte. Those numbers haven't changed. Mayor of City of Flatwoods, we now have 2 precincts reporting. Ron Fields has pulled ahead of Joe Gray, 341 to 257. Gary Tomlin with a 116 vote lead on McKnight. 2 out of 7 though. Lowell Gullett, 126 and 3, 129 vote lead over Charlie Young. Sloan over Jason Miller, that's close. In the 4th ward, Samantha Sayers is leading Richard Lewis by 62 votes. Carl Wheeler unopposed in the 5th ward, and in the 6th ward, Ken Picklesheimer with a substantial lead, 152 plus 17, the 169 vote lead. Lundy Meadows has a 27 vote lead, or has won the mayor's race in Greenup. And the top 6 candidates, Harris, Black, Mance, Boo Williams, Stevens, and Newberry, all elected to the Greenup Council, as Abden and Jackson were the bottom 2 vote getters. In the city of Raceland, it's 3 of 3. Mike Wilson is the mayor. And in council, there's the top 6 are Jackson, Talmadge McPeak, Abrams, Potter, Compton, and Caitlin. Jones and Rao were the bottom 2 vote getters. Only 10 votes separated Caitlin and Jones. And as far as we can go, we'll go back to the top again. We don't have the capability to change the scroll. We just operate on what happens from upstairs. But some of those in the 21 of 33, so the vote total begins to pick up again across the state. McConnell is going to win Greenup County as well as being declared the winner statewide. In Greenup County, Robin Webb with a 1,600 vote lead over Tony Downey. I don't have the ability to have Greenup County or Carter County or Boyd County totals. Bobby Hall will be elected the Greenup County PVA as he had now taken a 2,300 vote lead with 21 out of 33 precincts reporting. The only thing I wish they would do a little different, Keith, is I wish they would put which precincts had reported. Maybe we can talk and find if there's a way to do that for the presidential election, which will come up in 2 years. The one alternative would be to have someone upstairs and talk to your ear. Magazine tomorrow at 1. Veteran ceremony at Russell. Quillen leading Howerton by 700 votes. And in the 3rd district, 21 of 33, Billy Ray Stevens with a 500 vote lead over Duty. Friday again at 1:30, join Keith Atkins and me for the 2014 Veterans Day ceremony at Russell High School, streaming live here on Greenup Beacon and greenupbeacon2.com. All these magisterial districts unopposed. Just a matter of all the precincts being turned in. Here's 110 of 12 with no candidate. I'm a winner there. With a write-in, you could have won that. So we do have 21 of 33 districts reported countywide, but we'll have to wait a little while. As we said, some candidates, all their districts have reported. For example, Race and Worthington, 4 of 6, but there's only 3 candidates for 3 positions, so those totals are irrelevant as long as they each got 1 vote. 8 of 13 in Russell, so there's still 5 precincts to report. It's the same on a city council. There's still 5 precincts remaining. 2nd Bellefonte precinct hasn't reported. I don't know, there might be a part of a precinct in Boyd County there that would also count. Ron Fields is now pulled away to almost a 200 vote lead over Joe Gray, but there's still only there's 3 precincts left to report. Gullett with a big lead on Young. 73 vote lead for Sloan. 100 vote even for Sayers over Lewis. Four of 7 precincts reporting. Picklesheimer has a 400 vote lead, just under 400. 4 of 4 precincts reporting. makes Lundy Meadows the mayor of Greenup by 27 votes, barring something being overturned. Mark Harris, the top 6. So the bottom 2 will be Abden and Jackson. They will not be serving this time around. Mike Wilson with 3 of 3 will be the new mayor, or is the mayor of Raceland. Top 6 for the city is Jackson, Talmadge, McPeak, Potter, Compton, Caitlin, and Jones. Maybe not. Jones and Rao are the bottom 2. There's 3 of 4 Russell precincts reporting. For the city council, Ron Simpson is the top vote getter at this point. So it'll be Simpson, Kersey, Schaefer, Parsons, Fraley, and Butch Meadows. Witt and Churchinger are the 2 bottom. Butch Meadows has about a 30-vote lead over Witt. But again, you can always have a change with another precinct reporting. Cheryl Moore with the winner there. South Shore, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be Ratliff, Warnick, Ramey and Salmons, Mildred Bradley, Bennett, and LaPorte will not sit on the council. Mayor with only 1, or Worthington unopposed mayor. Only 1 of 3 for the city of Worthington council. But there's only 6 candidates. And for the mayor of City of Wortland, 1 of 3 reporting. Of course, Donna Hayes is the sitting mayor. And I think there was only 3 candidates for council, so thus there'll be a vacant seat that'll have to be appointed. And with that, we'll wait on the next run of the elections. We'll step away and be back in just a moment. Be big in some of them. Tom, 59 to 39% is what they're with 1% reporting. Robin Webb with a pretty big lead on Downey in this county. 25 of 33 precincts reporting. We're down to 8 now that are left out. Bobby Hall with a 2,500 vote lead over Betty Rife. There's not 2,500 votes left, I don't think. Might be. If deductive reasoning is people win or lose, as we wait on the local races. We'd like to thank Greenup County Judge Executive Bob Carpenter, I almost called him Bobby Conley, and Doug Collins for allowing us to use his internet connection from his office to bring these results here tonight. Tony Quillen has a 1,000 vote lead over Richard Howerton. And Billy Ray Stevens has a 411 vote lead over Ernest Duty. As we wait for the totals to sail on through. I did see Bobby Hall in the room earlier. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to him before the evening's over. Tammy Womack has about a 100-vote lead. That vote for constable is still kind of close. I don't think it's totally decided yet. As we move on to the 5 of 7 precincts in the city of Flatwoods, it'll be 31, 104, 176 vote lead for Ron Fields. Gary Tomlin almost a 2-1 winner over Jim McKnight with 5 of 7 precincts reporting. Lowell Gullett with a 300 vote lead, 300 and a little tiny bit of change. Sloan with a 170-point lead over Miller. All these are with 5 of 7 reporting. Sayers with a 160-point lead or so. Points or votes or whatever you want to call them. Picklesheimer 2-1 win over Botts with 5 of 7 reporting. And as we have reported already, Lundy Meadows is the mayor of Greenup after today's vote cast. The top 4 vote getters, or top 6, are Harris, Black, Mance, Williams, Stevens, and Newberry, as Abden and Jackson will not sit on the council. 31 vote difference between number 6 and number 7. Mike Wilson will be the mayor of Raceland. And the top 6 vote getters for the Raceland Council are Jackson, McPeak, Abrams, Potter, Compton, and Caitlin. Jones and Rowe will not be. Jones 10 votes less than Caitlin. And we're going to roll up now, as we didn't get them all. We didn't get the Flatwoods votes all in, so we're going to wait for him to load the new totals, and it'll roll with. There's only 3 precincts left. This will be pretty definitive here. 11,000 votes cast. I don't know how many people are registered. I should have asked that question before we got started. Pretty evenly straight ticket voters. Mitch McConnell, a 670 vote lead over Grimes in Greenup County, but has been declared the statewide winner. I'm not exactly sure how, with only 1 or 2% reporting, but I guess in the rush to do that, 1,800 point vote lead for Newberry. In Greenup County, Webb has a 1,800 point or vote lead over Downey. Bobby Hall with a 3,000 vote lead, with 30 of 33 precincts reporting. Mike Hanneman is unopposed in the 1st District. 2nd District, 30 of 33 precincts reporting. Tony Quillen with a 1,200 vote lead over Richard Howerton and should win re-election. And Billy Ray Stevens with a 400 vote lead over Ernest Duty and should win re-election. Just step over the wire. Come on around. We're going to talk to you. Yeah, you have. There's not 3,000 votes left. I'm not going to put you on camera anyway. We're just going to sit down. As the votes continue to roll, and if it rolls up to 33 precincts, then we'll just stop and we'll talk. But with 30 precincts reporting a 3,000 vote lead, it pretty much puts you in this job that you worked extremely hard to get, Bob. And let's talk about when you decided to run for this office. What made you decide to run for this?
Just a few things. I mean, number one is my wife's always told me, she said, a lot of people in Greenup County, a lot of people like you. She said, you ought to sometime try to run for office. And the opportunity came up, and I researched it, and, I thought, I'm going to take her advice, and that's what we've done. We've been blessed. We've got a lot of friends and a lot of family in Greenup County, and we want to work for them.
But you did work county line to county line. You took no vote for granted.
Exactly. You're correct there. I remember one day every Monday morning I always reset my odometer, and I never crossed the county line and drove 941 miles.
That's pretty good.
That's
pretty good.
That's a lot of zigzagging.
It is. So now, when will you take the job, Bob? When do you become the PVA?
Actually, the PVA's office is a little bit different than most offices in the state of Kentucky. You actually are sworn in the first Monday in December. Most offices take office in January, and the PVA's office they get sworn in the first Monday in December. This year it's December 1st, and then the next day all 120 PVAs across the state go straight into a conference for 4 days, and everyone gets educated, and we move forward.
Stuff.
The new stuff, yes, sir.
And so you'll have a staff in place when you step in, and so you just have to some of your platform involved upgrading the technology of the office and trying to be certain that each voter or each household is treated in the same manner.
Absolutely, and obviously there's a great staff upstairs. You look at technology and modernization. You research some of the counties that surround us and counties across the state, and electronics is a big factor. And you want to make everything very easy and accessible for the general public, for other businesses, for realtors, people that's come in that office on a daily basis, and going and searching through files is time consuming. And obviously if you can get into an electronic mode, then it speeds the process up, and that makes everyone happy.
One of the things that you did, and you and I have talked about during the campaign, is the ability for folks to be able to have a phone app and be able to reach you on the internet and have accurate and usable information.
Absolutely. I mean, the way technology has changed. I mean, you remember when we had pagers, and actually,
I thought that was a step into the real world. It's pagers and faxes, right?
Exactly. And I remember taking a pager and pulling up to a local gas station and calling the number from a pay phone to find out where you needed to be. I mean, so things have changed. I mean, we've all got phones in our hands, and we got them in our hands right now. You've got one on your lap right there, and we can do so much from just that telephone. And so you can only imagine what you can do with mapping and with the properties in the county, and there's a lot of things to do, and I think we're going to have fun doing them.
Bobby, stay here just a minute. In the city of Russell, the top 6 candidates have been elected: Ron Simpson, Dave Kersey, Don Fraley, Roy Parsons, and Sissy Schaefer and Michael Witt. The 2 to not be elected were Butch Meadows and Mike Schertzinger. Although Meadows held a lead through 5 precincts, at the end he did not win. We have already reported in South Shore that Ratliff, Warnick, Ramey, and Salmons are the winners. I believe it's the top four. I believe I read that. And now that much of the voting has taken place, so did you have a little nervous stomach today, Bob?
I think that's somewhat of an understatement, Hank. I'll let Julie answer that question off the record for you, but yes, it was very nerve-wracking.
Congratulations, Bob, and I hope to have many interviews and go over many things as we move forward into your first term as Property Valuation Administrator.
Thank you very much, Hank. I appreciate it. You've got my cell number. Call me anytime.
I'll do it. Bob Hall, the new Property Valuation Administrator, as he that was probably the best acrobatic move of the night. And we are now, they are updating the totals, and it does look as though 31 of 33. We'll just let these scroll by, take a break, and be back in just a moment. First and Peoples Bank has 6 convenient locations to serve you. From South Shore to the main office, First and Peoples Bank has been serving this area with complete banking services since 1932. Visit the home office near you. First and Peoples Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are the home office. Come visit any of our 6 locations.
The fine people at Carmen Funeral Home have been working with families in need for over 100 years. Carmen Funeral Home offers compassionate and caring services to those in their time of need, from pre-arrangement to final arrangements. With 2 convenient locations in Flatwoods and Russell, Carmen Funeral Home, putting people first since 1913. "31 of 33 precincts have reported tonight to Greenup County Clerk Pat Heineman's office as the vote totals continue to scroll by. Russell Council is now set for next year, the next couple of years, as Schertzinger and Butch Meadows will not join the council. As we wait now for the totals to finish for Flatwoods, to be able to definitively name those who have been elected there. Billy Ray Stevens still holds a 400 vote lead over Ernest Duty and should have that job. Of course, anything can happen in those final 2 precincts. Many unopposed candidates. As we'll continue to watch the scroll as the buzz picks up just a little bit more here in the Greenup County Fiscal Courtroom, just outside the office of County Judge Executive Bob Carpenter, who joined us earlier. We also thank Bobby Hall, the new PVA. Tammy Womack is going to capture her race over Steve Duty. She is ahead by a couple hundred votes. I don't believe the other 2 precincts will influence it, but it possibly could. Of course, some of these races only are local totals. You'll have to add in other counties to determine who the actual office holder is. The judicial jobs in this county were locked down during the primary. In fact, I don't think they had any opposition in the primary. Carl Cotton received 377 votes as 4 of 4 precincts reported. Jeff Hearn 689, as 4 precincts have reported. 6 of 6 for the Raceland Board of Education, so the final vote totals are all that were in question. Loberfato 788, 782 for Burkhardt, and 771 for Rambo. Judy Justice Ledford, the number 1 vote getter for Russell Board, John Jones and Sean Witt. Tommy Bradley, 2 districts reported. He received 292 votes. In the city commissioner race in Bellefonte, Billy Snedeker, 262, the number 1 vote getter. John Wallace, then Skip Edwards and Maurice Oakley. 7 of 7, the new mayor of Flatwoods will be Ron Fields, as he took a 12-21 to 992 win over Joe Gray. Gary Tomlin will sit on the council in Flatwoods. 7 of 7 reporting Lowell Gullett will sit on the council, defeating Charlie Young by about 370 votes. And on the 3rd ward in the city of Flatwoods, Ray Sloan over Jason Miller by 160 or so, 170. City Council Ward 4, Samantha Sayers will assume the seat over Richard Lewis, 1,000 to 894. In Ward 5, Carl Wheeler was unopposed. And in Ward 6, the winner was Kent Picklesheimer, a 2-1 winner over Kenneth Botts. As we've about come to the end of this evening, Metta's the new mayor, or the mayor in Greenup. And as we've said, Harris, Black, Mance, Williams, Stevens, and Newberry will be the council in Greenup. Mike Wilson, the winner over Harry Joseph in the mayor's race. Jackson, McPeak, Abrams, Potter, Compton, and Caitlin are the council members in Raceland. And for the mayor of Russell, of course, Hopkins. As we said, the city of Russell now has been determined with all 4 precincts reporting. Ron Simpson, the top vote getter. Then there's Dave Kersey, Fraley, Parsons, Schaefer, and Michael Whitt, as Butch Meadows and Michael Schertzinger were the bottom 2 vote getters. City of Mayor of South Shore will be Cheryl Moore with a 100+ point win, or vote win. Bradley and Bennett will not sit, and Laporte will not sit on the council in South Shore. Tim Mullins was unopposed in Worthington for mayor. And I don't remember if there were more than 6, but we'll name the top 6, which was Stevenson, Frosty Evans, Flocker, Phelps, McGinnis, and Compton. Monkey, that was a bottom vote getter, but there were only 6 to run. Donna Hayes was elected, of course, mayor. And in Wordland, there were only 3 candidates for 4 positions. And that takes us through with 1 precinct left to report. Most of the offices are set now. And hopefully we'll be able to, we'll talk to a candidate or 2. And if not, then we'll thank you for joining us and move on. talk to Billy Ray Stevens here in just a couple minutes, as he has withstood a challenge in the race for magistrate. Tammy Womack, 200 vote leader on Steve Duty. She will take that position. And as it has re-rolled here, I believe that we will see the complete totals. And as we go through here, 12,042 votes cast. No absentee votes counted into this, but I think that the differences are wide enough that there should be no question as to who wins. Mitch McConnell won Greenup County by about 700 votes. And Tom Massey was a big winner over Harrison County's Peter Newberry by 1,900 votes. Greenup County totals in the Senate race. Mitch McConnell, 32,000, 55 to 42 is going to be the projected win. I missed the senatorial race, but Robin Webb will win Greenup County. 3,200 vote win for Bobby Hall for Property Valuation Administrator. Pat Heineman, who is the Greenup County clerk, ran unopposed and garnered over 9,000 votes. As I said, the constitutional offices were unopposed, as Keith Cooper will remain sheriff. Mike Worthington will remain the jailer. In the 1st district for county commissioner, Mike Heineman was unopposed, and of course 1 vote was all he needed, his own. 8,300 votes. Tony Quillen, a 1,300 vote winner over Richard Howerton. And county commissioner with 33 of 33 precincts reporting, Billy Ray Stevens, a 500 vote win over Ernest Duty for the right to continue to sit on Greenup County Fiscal Court. And he is going to come and talk to us here in just a minute. So he'll walk in front of the camera and he'll join us over here. But Keith, why don't you see if you can just turn the lights on for us? You're on the back wall there, and we're going to talk to Billy Ray. But what we'll do is we'll step away for just a moment while we get set up, and we'll be back here on greenupbeacon.com. At Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, our patients are priority number 1. For the 7th straight year, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital has received HealthGrade's Outstanding Patient Experience Award. The hospital continues to place in the top 5% of the nation for outstanding patient experience. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital says thank you to our patients for this People's Choice honor. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, on a mission of good health for you and your family. Hank Bond, along with Keith Atkins here in the fiscal courtroom at Greenup County Courthouse with the re-elected magistrate,
Thank you.
Billy Ray Stevens. Yeah. And I guess you play on that Billy Ray a little bit, don't you?
Right, yeah, that's right.
Can you sing too, Billy?
I can sing a little bit, very little.
Now, Billy Ray, is this your second term or third term?
Third term. This is my third term. I've already been here 8 years, so I've been 2 terms already.
And the county has done pretty well with this court and with this judge.
Well, yes, we have. We've done great. We all try to work together. Every one of us does. I mean, we sat down, we agreed on everything, and we come out pretty good.
Well, it looks like the county has pretty good physical shape, and of course I think you ran a good race.
Yeah, I did. It was good, clean race all the way through.
From both sides.
Yeah, even in the primary and all this election too. I mean, it's all good, clean race, and I'm thankful for that. I mean.
Well, I want to congratulate you, Billy Ray, and I thank you for coming and talking to us, and I wish you good luck this next 4 years.
Okay, thank you a lot.
Thank you. Billy Ray Stevens, not newly elected, but re-elected magistrate here for Greenup County. And that will just about do it for us here. I think it's time for us to move on. Keith, what do you think? Are you ready to go to the house? Well, we thank you very much for joining us here on greenupbeacon.com. Join us again tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the video magazine. 1:30 on Friday. Keith and I will bring you the veteran ceremony from Russell High School, and then football Friday night at 7:30. It's Russell and Western Hills. From the Greenup County Courthouse here on Greenup Beacon and greenupbeacon2.com, for Keith Atkins, this is Hank Bond. Good evening, everyone.